Today we will be learning how to use the action menu, and we'll be learning about child work orders. To begin, we'll go ahead and open a work order. Then go ahead and select Actions. Now you'll see 3 sections and several tiles, but we'll only be going over a few key ones today. In the first grouping, we see Check-in at the top. By tapping Check-in, it starts the clock for time spent on the work order. Be sure to note that we are required to check and validate that we have put time into each work order. If you forget to check in and check out, or you complete the work order, you can always go back in and add time by going through internal costs on the work order, which we learned to do in a previous video. If you need a refresher, go back and watch the video titled Navigating a Work Order. Next is Flag Current Work Order. Now, what does it mean and when should you use this tile? To flag a work order simply means that you will be flagging either your ops manager, FM manager, or your facilities coordinator, aka FC, in regard to the work order. A work order should only be flagged when an action needs to be taken. For example, say you receive a work order but need additional information from a member. You can flag your FC to reach out to them for additional information. So now let me show you how to do this. If you're not there already, go into the Actions menu. On my screen, Flag a Work Order is second on the list, so we'll go ahead and select it. After selecting, you'll be asked to specify reason. This just means specify who you are flagging. So if you needed to flag your FM, type in CFM. If it's your ops manager, type in OM. And if it's your FC, type in FSC. So, as our example, we will search for FSC and select FSC action. We will now have to write our flag note describing the situation. Once that is done, we will hit Save in the top right corner, and your FC will now be flagged on the work order and get notified. One more example. Say you have a work order that you can't complete on time due to a delayed delivery or shipment. In this situation, you can flag your OM and ask for due date change. You'll search for your OM the same way we did before by going into Flag a Work Order. Once you search OM, it will bring up a few options. You will select OM Task, Due by Date Change, and then type in your note, same as before. Now that you know how to flag a work order, let me show you how to clear a flag on a work order that you receive from your ops manager, FC, or FM. You can find any flagged work orders assigned to you by looking at your dashboard and selecting the Flag tile. Once selected, go into the work order. You will see a flag at the top of your work order. Tap on it, and it will open up the flag. It will show you who flagged it, when it was flagged, and the reason it was flagged. After reading the note and making sure you have all necessary information, you may remove the flag by tapping the flag icon in the top right. Now that you know how to flag and remove flags from work orders, let's continue down our Actions menu. Next up is Complete. This action is how you complete a work order. I have already gone over this, as well as the action add attachments, in the video Navigating a Work Order. So if you need a refresher, go back and review that video. The next one we'll go over is Put on Hold. You will use this the most when and if you are awaiting a shipment. Go ahead and select it, hit No Scan, and then you'll be brought to a menu to select the reason for the hold. 99% of the time, you will just be using the reason at the very bottom, which is waiting for parts. After selecting, you'll be asked to write a note where you can briefly explain the delay or problems with shipping. Back at our menu, we'll be finishing up the first section with the Cancel action. You won't be using the Cancel section very often, but let me give an example of when you would. First example is when you would use it, and the second will be when you should have your OM or FC use it. Let's say you're going through a building doing your quarterly inspection. You see that a foyer door isn't shutting properly, so you create a work order to address and fix it. Then, while looking through your work orders for that building, you see a member had already made a work order for that door. In this situation, you should cancel the one that you made and keep the one the member sent in. Just like with all the others action menu items, after selecting, you will hit No Scan, select your reason, and write your note. If you receive duplicate work orders that were either sent in by different members or two by the same member, you will send one of two to your FC or OM. You should never cancel these yourself. Your managers will reach out to the member and explain the reason for the cancellation, and then they will cancel the work order. The middle section on our action menu is something that we won't be going over today, but we may go over it in the future. The last item in the action menu we'll be discussing today is Add Child Work Order. So we'll jump down to Add Child Work Orders. No, this is not child labor. It's just a way to say that a work order has been created off of another one. Anytime you're doing an inspection and find something to do, you'll create a child work order to address it. So let's say you've done your quarterly inspection and you found a light fixture that has 2 lights out in a hallway. You're going to need to create a child work order. Here's how to do that. Go ahead and select Add Child Work Order. You will then hit Continue after you make sure the item is selected. Once that's done, you need to scroll down to Work Description. Select it, and then you'll be brought to a new menu. Select Asset, then hit Proceed. You will now see that you are in the menu for choosing your reason for the work order. I'm going to need you to select Level Up until you see this menu with your building's wards listed. Select your building with the double arrows on the far right of your screen. Do not select Recurring because that would create an inspection work order instead of a regular work order. Once there, you can now select Building Interior. Then find and select Lighting. You will then select Light Bulb below 20 feet. Now you are able to add your description. Once you have finished your description, click Continue. Now, this is crucial to creating the work order and getting it to work. Instead of hitting Add, hit Back. It will then bring you to a Review and Confirm page where, after reviewing that it is a P30 work order and not an inspection, you may hit Create. Congrats! You have made a child work order and can now navigate the action menu.